Hello dear Ronins, welcome to Ronin Hood. Today it will be the day number 3 with the Musashi practical from Yarinohanzo, alterated blade, the broken blade, and of course the Ronin Dojo Pro. Please do not imitate this performance for your own safety if you are not a high level of shurikenjutsu and battodo. So this day number 3 will be really different from day number 1 and day number 2, episodes that you have already seen before, I'm sure. So this is the Scott M. Rodell performance that I have been inspired by, and I made the shuriken bamboo cut. Of course, it's not the same swords. The Dandao is a longer sword and with longer tsuka, and he's a master, and I'm not in battodo and shurikenjutsu. He's a master in Chinese swordsmanship. His performance is awesome, and I tried my best for practicing my way with throwing of shuriken, bow shuriken, and cutting bamboo next in the second move with shinken. So this is the stand of the installation that you already know in the previous episode. So we have seen that the short stand between 50 and 70 is better because of the feet that can block the trajectory to get closer of the trajectory, front trajectory of the target. So from the sky view we can see that for me it was better to have a shorter one because shorter feet, and I can just make it in the front trajectory and not in the 45 trajectory because of bigger feet of the stand. And that changed angles because I am able to make better angles between 30 and 20 degrees angle cut with that shorter stand in the front line, and doesn't change my body trajectory. So I feel better with my technicity and skills. So it's better to have a bigger diameter for your cuts. For bamboo, a fresh bamboo is better, 0 to 4 hours the best, and the length has to be 1 meter if you want to cut it in the air. So you cut your bamboo of 10 meters and you make 4 cuts of 2 meters, and of course the best will be between 2 centimeters and 8 centimeters of diameter if you can have 8 centimeters of diameter. So B1, B2, B3, B4, and you start with B4, then B3, then B2, then B1. So B1 is the best because the larger diameter, closer from the soil, so you will have more water inside. So this is the cut in the air like we have seen before. So you throw it horizontally, it's stabilized horizontally, and you will make an Ayumiashi with a cut that is kesagiri, and then you will advance your back leg in front like Scott and Rodell do. I was not able to do it. I was not able to stabilize it horizontally. I cut it with a cut that is in the opposition of my front leg. I do not recommend this even if you are really advanced. I practice a lot this type of move usually, so I was feeling it correctly. So we start with Musashi practical. This is not representative of Musashi practical from Yarinohanzo because this sword is really more unbalanced than the original one. I will make in a long time a new episode with maybe a new Musashi practical to show you the difference of unbalance from the new one and this alterated blade, because you know that I was sharpening the blade to annihilate the chip, the crack on the blade. So it completely changed the geometry of the blade. It's really bad because I felt like terribly tired because it was like an ugly piece of metal, but it's sharpened because I sharpen it like it's very sharp, and it's a bowie sword, so it's really interesting to see how it reacts on day number 3 with a bowie sword of 1 kilogram. So it's really unbalanced. So this is my problem, because for the experience it's 1060 carbon steel. So it's really interesting to see how a bowie will react with bamboo, especially with bamboo of this thickness. And on day number 3 it's not great for the 1060, and we'll see how it reacts. First, it works, so I was nicely surprised. No chip, no crack on the blade. I would say bowie is not a problem for cutting bamboo if you are correct on your technicity and your angles, because you have to be correct on the trajectory, edge alignment, but on the angle is really important too. So the stand is on my left, too much on the left for me because of the big feet. You can see there that it was half cut, half cracked. It's really difficult in the air, especially if the blade is too heavy or super unbalanced like this one. So not satisfying for the moment. Like we have seen before on the day number 2, it was super great, a really super clean cut in the air with the Okaze from Bushiden. So I really not feel good with this stand. I missed this one a lot. It was incorrect cut, incorrect posture. But this stand on the left with like 60-70 centimeters make me change of trajectory, so it's 45, and I, like, you know, on the day number 4 I was talking about that. I don't appreciate it, but it's like that. One thing that was super great on this day number 3 is I changed my posture. If you can observe, if you are good, you have a good look. I changed one detail on that was a almost great cut in the air. You can see almost well done. I tried the Ayumiyashi, but I don't feel comfortable with that. So because I practice a lot Sore Surigaishi, I felt really better cutting in the opposition direction to my front leg. Even it's really dangerous if you are not advanced or you super train this move, because it's really dangerous for your front leg. So I was trying to improve my stabilization in the air with my throw of bamboo section, but it was not successful with this blade because super unbalanced and really difficult for me because it's a C1, so the center of gravity, most of the weight distribution, I mean, are closer to the Tsuka. So when it was new, I was not feeling great, and now it's 10 times worse because it's unbalanced because of my not correct sharpening process. Not correct because even I'm not great as a sharpener. I think it's because when the blade is cracked or has a chip, you can't save it and keep the balance, the original balance. I think it's just impossible when you have 2 millimeters of crack. So now we are with Ronin Dojo Pro. I can tell that I feel better because the balance is better than the alterated Musashi Yarinohanzo blade, and because it's it has more weight because it's a Noi sword. So it is obviously really clear that it's better for stabilization of your trajectory to have thicker blade, heavier blade for cutting bamboo. All the masters and Japanese tell about that, and I totally agree. But I prefer a thinner blade, bohi or nohi, to have a cut in the air or a more agile cut even on bamboo. So I think if you can see there, the blade is completely dual. It's between dual and just sharp. So I'm trying my best, but I was not satisfied on the evolution of the edge of this Ronin Dojo Pro. I think on the beginning it was just very sharp, so not super very sharp, between sharp and very sharp. And we can see that I try my best, but this blade, after the review that you have already seen of Ronin Dojo Pro cutting Omote, and now all the 2 days, day number 1 and then day number 3 with this blade on bamboo, even I'm super happy and super surprised of the great work that have been done with this blade on bamboo. The blade is dual, So it's really interesting to note that for the conclusion that we will see in next episode on the different steels and the different geometry of blade geometry. So you can see it's a 3.5 centimeters. It's a kind of big baby bamboo, and I will finish this day number 3 with that. I see a big difference between day number 1 and day number 3 with the same blade. This blade, Ronin Dojo Pro, it's really changing the reaction of the material with the blade. I have to be perfectly aligned, no mistakes, and even when I'm aligned, correct posture, correct cut, the bamboo is exploding because not fresh anymore. We are more than 48 hours, so it gives us a big information between day number 1, day number 2 and day number 3 about how many hours has to be cut your bamboo before you will practice battodo with it. All the angles that are less than 30 degrees are exploding the bamboo because it's too dry. I'm trying my best, but impossible for me. I'm not a good thrower in the air, a bamboo thrower. Yeah, half cut, a 2/3 cut, 1/3 exploded. Not satisfying because it was really better with Okaze. Of course, I had clean cut, but the day number 3 was the last day of the experience for me for this shuriken bamboo cut performance, and I saw the limit. So it was really interesting. We'll talk about that in my conclusions about day number 1, day number 2, day number 3, comparing different steels, different geometry blade, and of course the bamboo evolution. That's it for today, guys. I hope my ronins you liked this day number 3 episodes. See you soon for the next episode in Ronin Hood.